Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. We give you guys a fresh perspective on things, and we see them. And today we got an excellent show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about what took place on ESPN First Take not too long ago. So yesterday there was some critical games that took place in the NBA. We're just going to focus on the Western Conference because frankly the Western Conference is more interesting than the Eastern Conference. And let me tell you what happened. So after all the games were played yesterday, this is where things currently stand. OKC is number one. That's not changed. They've won 10 games in a row. They're fantastic. So they're the class of the West. Then you have the Houston Rockets who played the Lakers. They lost that game. So the Houston Rockets is still a number 2 seed. Trailing them is the Denver Nuggets at the number 3 spot. And then you have the Lakers who've won 2 games in a row. They're at the number 4 spot. And I think they've put some healthy distance between themselves and the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, incidentally, a very important game is going to take place tonight because the Warriors are going to be playing against the Grizzlies. So whoever loses that game is going to drop. So Memphis is most likely, or Golden State is going to drop to well, actually, Golden State can drop all the way down to the 8th seed. Right now, that is 6th seed, it can drop to the 8th. Now, some people say, well, how can they drop to the 8th? Because the Lakers have the season tiebreaker, I believe, thus far on the Warriors. I think we'll have to see. Then, of course, you have the Timberwolves at number 7. Then you have the Clippers at number 8, and all of that. So things are really close. And the Mavs, Kings, those guys are tied for losses. So there's a lot of movement taking place there. But anyway, after the game last night, the Lakers were able to beat the Houston Rockets, and I knew that we were going to discuss this today on ESPN First Take. And of course, Shannon Sharpe was going to be in attendance. And what does that mean? Whenever there's a topic with Shannon Sharpe and LeBron James, there's always going to be a lot of twerking that went on. But today, it looked like Stephen A. Smith actually had like enough. He's like, bro, enough is enough with this twerking. Like, enough is enough with it, with this constant capping and all. Like, analyze what you're seeing, and like a lot more. We need a little bit more in that analysis, a little less twerk. And this is what created this kind of a heated back and forth between these two guys. So what we want to do is we want to play the exchange between Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe now. Then we're going to come back and react to their commentary. Take a listen to that there.
Well, that person that they normally hand the ball to, Stephen A., and says, okay, go get us a bucket, is Jalen Green. And he, as you mentioned, he struggled shooting the basketball from the floor. And if I'm not mistaken, he might have gotten benched, or maybe it's something going on, because I didn't see him a whole lot in the fourth quarter. And so with that being said, it doesn't tell me anything. I already knew everything I needed to know about the Lakers. I already knew everything I needed to know about the Houston Rockets. That's why I told you. And you see last night, Stephen A., the Rockets, they got an amen, but we had the benediction. 2 free throws and a huge block. You see how we dismissed it? We let everybody go. You know there's a difference between an amen and a benediction. You know when they give the benediction, it's over. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good evening. Go home and watch your favorite sporting event. Eat some turkey and dressing.
There you go with your nonsense. There you go with your nonsense, the benediction.
Now you want to talk about you bloviating the body. That's why I'm not concerned. That's why every time you mention somebody, I'll let everybody know what it is. It's in 5. It's on. And
I have no objectivity.
That you had last night, Stephen A., I do have objectivity.
With
the Lakers didn't even, you talk about what Houston didn't do offensively. Look at the Lakers struggling. Luka struggled shooting the ball. LeBron struggled shooting the ball. As a matter of fact, LeBron has only shot 50% once since he's been back off that injury. Mm-hmm. That being said, Austin Reeves struggled. Last night, the only 2 guys really that played exceptional was Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent. Now, Vando came in and gave us some huge defensive, and they played really well defensively. But I'm not concerned. That's why I let you do all that talking. And we got something for you know who. I don't want to mention their name. But we got something for them in a back-to-back.
But this is the thing that kills me. You act like there's nothing to be concerned about with your Lakers. I mean, when they were struggling defensively over the last several weeks, looking like one of the poor defensive teams in the NBA, you just glossed over that. That doesn't matter to you. I'm looking at the Houston Rockets right now. We've all recognized throughout the year, even as they climbed to a number 2 seed, there was something missing, and it showed last night. But I still believe in these cats. I still believe they got a kind of potential to make a series very, very interesting. I think they're a very talented team. I think they're a piece away from winning the championship, to be quite honest with you. But when you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, at least I'm being objective about it, Shay. Your behind sits up there with the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know. What you say? What you say about Lakers at 5? What did you say about it? Who knows what you gonna come up with next when it comes to that stuff? It don't matter. Even when we mentioned OKC, you talk about Lakers at 5.
I'm listening. Tell me.
So you heard the exchange. Now, what Stephen A. Smith was alluding to is something that I've been saying going all the way back to Shannon Sharpe's days on FS1. I have always said that I believe that Shannon Sharpe is excellent, funny, and all that stuff. He's great. I always said that. But I also said that I take Shannon Sharpe seriously with almost everything he says, except when it comes to his basketball takes as it pertains to LeBron and anything LeBron related. Because when it comes to his LeBron James takes, there's no objectivity. There's no actual analysis. It's just a bunch of twerking and hollering and screaming. Just up there twerking it up. Ankles just lathered in honey, right? Slipping all through the hallways. Just hollering and screaming. And what usually ends up happening is that after a while, it gets annoying. See, at first, it was funny. Because it's funny. You know, to go James, go James, go James. But as time goes on, it's like, okay, can we get like a substantive take on this, please? Like, I get it. You think it's funny and all that. But after a while, like, can we get more than these jokes? And then what you quickly begin to realize is that Shannon never gives you a serious analysis of LeBron James. Sometimes he does, like after the game that they lost to the Bulls. But usually, most cases, he doesn't. And 90% of the cases, he doesn't. When they have these GOAT debates, he's not being serious. He's not being serious. There is no argument that Shannon Sharpe can make to say that LeBron is better than Michael. There is none. And he knows it. And we're not talking about somebody that did not see the Chicago Bulls Jordan. He saw Jordan. You know there's no argument. But nevertheless, you do it anyway. And you put a battery in the back of some of his minions, twerking ass minions all over the internet. And then they run around hollering and screaming and slapping each other while honey running up and down the hallway talking about LeBron James to go. It's because of people like that. Now, Stephen A. Smith is saying, give me a serious analysis, for God's sakes. I get it. You like LeBron and all that, but give me a serious analysis looking at the Western Conference landscape. You're talking about OKC in third. Like, what are you talking about in 5? What are we saying right now? Like, what are we saying? Even if we're saying this, OKC doesn't have the experience. Well, we're not talking about a team that's going to the playoffs for the first time. This group has pretty much been together for some years. They went to the playoffs last year. They played and they lost. But the point I'm making is that by just dismissing them and so, go James, go James, go. What kills me is that Shannon talks like as if LeBron has 10 rings. He has 4 rings. You're acting like he has 10. You're acting like as if the minute he gets into the playoffs is a done deal. He has 4 rings. But you're making it seem like this dude is freaking Bill Russell or somebody. He has 4 rings. But you talk like as if it's Michael Jordan is going into the playoffs. The amount of confidence and all, like, where are you getting all of this from? Number one. Number two, if you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, they have an incredible home record. They have an incredible road record. They're the best defense in the NBA. They're number one in a lot of the key categories in terms of defensive deflections and all of that. You think it's a fluke all the way to the end of the season? Now, some people say with the lack of experience, eventually a young team wins. Eventually a team that doesn't have experience will gain enough experience to win. Eventually. You can't use that as something to say, well, they don't have experience. After a while, you can't use that. But even if we don't know what OKC is going to do in the playoffs, at least give a more robust and balanced analysis. If not for yourself, for the audience. Because when you give these watered down, ridiculous analyses, you're watering down the brains of the listeners. You're not doing them any favors because they'll listen to that and say, oh man, yeah. But then in here, you didn't say nothing. You didn't say nothing. So where's the deep thought in all of this is being said? And that's why you got a bunch of people that just holler, run around screaming, go James. They don't have an argument to back it up, an argument to save their life. So after a while, it's like, yeah, I get it. It's funny. But after a while, like, can we be serious, please? Like, please. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments and we catch you on the next show. Peace.